Welcome to Couch Connoisseurs,
Yeah, okay.
the show where we review Netflix shows.
Anyways, we have a special episode today.
So we both saw
I mean, do you want to tell the story about what happened yesterday?
how we both saw.
No, well, because originally I was gonna watch it with our mutual friends,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, Dan, aren't you coming?" And then you were like,
So yesterday I had watched Fantastic Beasts, which we'll be reviewing today. Before Andrew got back, he asked if I was coming, and I was like, "It wasn't a great film. It
yeah, and then you were like, "Oh, do you want to actually talk about the movie instead?" I was like, "No, but I mean, we planned all this stuff already." And then you were like, "Trust me."
Yeah, we watched two shows, but we were like, nah, we can get an hour's worth of content out of this.
Oh boy. So yeah, Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, the Crimes of Grindelwald.
Wasn't it just Fantastic Beasts, the Crimes of Grindelwald?
I mean, it should just be renamed Fantastic Beasts and what on earth is going on?
Oh. Where to even start?
Okay, so we're not gonna non-spoilers for now.
Yeah, so we're not doing spoilers yet. Spoilers will come later.
We will warn you heavily, and okay, there might be some spoilers. There will be a lot of spoilers for Harry Potter, evidently, because it's related.
Which is all linked in.
Okay.
But I don't know, I guess to start with, so the plot of this film is, if you remember Credence, and if you don't remember names from the first Fantastic Beasts film, you're not gonna have a good time because there's a lot.
There's a lot of because the first movie came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, and this film expects you to revise all of the names.
And you have and remember the plot.
Yeah,
because I actually genuinely forgot
and even
parts of it. And
small few second scenes kind of come into play a bit, and it's annoying.
If you're a studious Potter fan, you'll be fine. But if you're a normal person, a normal Joe, oh boy. So
Credence is kind of made out to be this powerful.
Okay, so, I mean, this is a spoiler of the first
wizard.
movie.
Yeah, spoiler for the first movie. He's made out to be this powerful Obscurus, which is a thing. I can't remember what it is because it's been 2 years.
It's something about them being very unhappy and depressed. And they implode from depression.
Yeah, it's something about magicians being
emotionally unloved.
Yeah,
it's that's why he needs to find
this particle effect thing.
Oh, they become the THX sound.
Yes, exactly. So, this one is about him finding out who his parents are. You may ask, what do the Crimes of Grindelwald have to do with this? Nothing.
No, he escapes from prison.
Oh yeah, he escapes from prison. That's a crime.
He killed a handful of people.
It annoys me so much. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, what do they find? The Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, what do they find? The Half-Blood Prince. Philosopher's Stone, what do they find? The Philosopher's Stone.
Philosopher's Stone if you're American.
Philosopher's Stone. Crimes of Grindelwald. Who's the father?
Like we were saying, it should just been called Fantastic Beasts and the Lost Child.
Yeah, that would have been a good name. Or even better,
whoa.
Fantastic Beasts, Mamma Mia edition.
Better idea. Call it Fantastic Beasts 2. The Lost Child, because
people remember Fantastic Beasts. No beasts are in this film because they have to be due to the name, but there's no reason for them to be there.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, because my parents actually saw this movie not knowing that they had to see the first movie. One of the people we went with yesterday, same thing, was like, "Oh wait, you mean this is a sequel?" It's like, oh. Warner Brothers, what have you done?
I don't know.
They should have at least put a 2. And the sad thing is, this is not even the worst part about the movie.
It just all goes downhill.
I mean, what else is non-spoilery?
Non-spoilery. There's a lot of name drops in this.
You better revise.
I don't really understand who the target is for some of their decisions, because you have stuff it's trying to be very fan servicey in a sense of.
Oh, okay, you do get a feeling
look, this name. Oh, you remember who this person is? Oh, they're in this film now.
Yeah, or like Lestrange being a surname of one of the characters. You're like, oh, Bellatrix.
Yeah, and there was that whole family tree that I can't remember what was significant about, but I guess I'm gonna have to find out now.
Yeah.
But something people have been having an issue with. Professor McGonagall, people did the math.
Whoa. Wait, because this is in 1927, right?
Yeah, so she doesn't play a large role in the movie at all. She is just a name drop. Just,
Cameo.
take the kids out, Professor McGonagall.
Same line.
Yeah. But people figured it out, and she wouldn't have been born yet.
But
when this movie took place.
Like, if they used the actual age of the actor, Julie Andrews, for the first movie. I'm just gonna...
Well, no, it's, they figured out from the books and the lore.
Seriously from the books?
Yeah, because there's information about when she would have been studying at university.
Oh.
And information about that, and from that, they deduced how old she must be.
Time turner, that's what happens. I don't know, soft magic stuff.
Yeah.
A wizard did it.
Like, to be fair, they could just turn around and go, "Oh no, it's her Professor McGonagall's mother."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just got the same role at the same school.
You mean with the same lines? So they do like a Nurse Joy.
Yeah.
It's like,
wait, Nurse Joy?
No, because in Pokemon, all the Nurse Joys are actually siblings.
Oh yeah.
Like, hand wave writing.
Yeah. But we don't need responsibilities on writing.
Oh boy.
And it's all, I don't know. For me, this is all
very messy movie.
Very messy. And it's all just there to serve. It's a dead horse. Like there's more you can do with Harry Potter, sure. But don't just
still try and link it back to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Well, okay. The thing is, watching the first Fantastic Beasts, the fun thing about the first Fantastic Beasts was not the plot, it was the beast. Because they were fun.
Yeah.
You know, seeing how each one gets, suitcased up. It's like Pokemon.
Oh yeah, it was like interesting to see. It was like
because
it was fantastical. It was entertaining.
It was. What I loved about Harry Potter back when the first few movies came out was that it was magical. It was like another world you were in. Fantastic Beasts 1 almost fully captured that, but then they had some nonsense plot going on. But never mind.
Yeah,
this movie had more nonsense plot.
I wasn't even that big of a fan of the first one, but this one just enrages me.
Just hatred. No, I went in with like really low expectations because I was warned about it, but I still left the cinema angry. And then I would say the cinema, I was almost screaming at the people I went with, like, what?
So why did you make me watch this?
I'm so full of pain, so full of hate. I feel like the obscure. Why?
Also, I found this movie very disorientating in multiple ways. So, in terms of visuals, like, I don't think you had this problem, but I found that there was just kind of like, I think, too much motion blur.
You mean
when things would move? So, like, I just felt like I should be able to see more detail than I actually could. And then there'll be like weird camera angles where it's like, yeah, it looks magical, but I can't. I lost positioning of where I was for a second.
I get that, but budget. They don't want the texture quality to be so high.
They had the budget.
$200 million budget.
Yeah.
We got pay for the really good act. They have got good actors in this movie.
Oh yeah, the acting's good.
The acting was not the problem.
It was just the lines, the writing, everything surrounding it. Because they could afford good actors. And then the other way in which I found disorientating though was just like in this is gonna be a bit of a far-fetched of a metaphor, but in video game design, right?
Whoa, okay.
You have a principle of you want to get the most depth you can out of each mechanic. So you have a term for complexity for how many mechanics you have, and depth for how much you get out of each mechanic.
So what would an example be like, like DuckTales with like the pogo stick? Like you can attack with it, you can move with it.
So if you can like
one mechanic, you can use it for multiple things.
Or even Mario, like jumping, you use that to get around, but you also use it to attack. Like you'll gain more depth out of it. So you want a good depth to complexity ratio. You want a good amount of depth for how much complexity you have. This film had tons of complexity, like a bunch of random things, but no depth to any of them. Like,
Dan, it's a soft magic system.
Well, it's not even like the complexity of the magic system. I mean the complexity of things going on in the plot. There's a lot of just insignificant things. They throw in
Which were just name drops.
Well, they have name drops. They also have this weird sort of, oh, who's into who? Oh, here's a love triangle. Here's another, like...
There were 3 love triangles. Well,
there was, like...
Lovers disputes.
A love triangle, a love dispute, and then another lover's dispute. None of which were necessary. Like...
Well, I mean, one was very plot-driven. The others are, like, character moments, I suppose. The only thing is I didn't care about the characters.
Well, the thing is with it being plot-driven... In terms of each of these, if you actually look at the number of scenes, like, so with the love triangle of someone thinks that Newt's engaged to someone else.
Oh, and it just turns out to be a typo.
Yeah, and then it just turns out to be a typo. That's literally it.
Like, yeah, Newt, you're getting married. It's like, no, what?
Yeah, and all of this just takes up, two character interactions?
Most of their interactions for more than half of the movie.
Well, no,
about
but
the misunderstanding.
It's not though, because if it doesn't actually come up in the rest of the movie, because other things are happening, it's following other characters.
No, but whenever they have the character moments together, when those two characters are in the same room, it's that.
But in terms of screen time, they just could have scrapped it because it is firstly a plotline based around a typo in a non-comedy, which is
like if this was Mamma Mia, that would be totally different.
Yeah, if it was something comical like, oh, whoopsie, we've got this whole funny misunderstanding because of just this silly typo. Fine. But to make it a serious plot point...
Like, it was quite driving how the characters interacted with each other.
Yeah.
and it was an oopsie.
And it just all accumulated to, oh, these characters are into each other. But wait, there's another girl.
Oh, yeah, then they bring up this... oh, boy.
I don't even know... Because they have the Lestrange family in this. That's one of the callbacks.
Name drops.
One of the name drops.
Oh, closer.
Ooh, sorry.
No, sorry, the mic.
Yeah. One of the name drops is the Lestrange family, and it comes into the plot. But
you're talking about Lita
really.
Lita
Yeah,
Lestrange.
there's Lita Lestrange. I don't remember what... Because in, I think it's Order of the Phoenix, they talk about the Lestrange family. And something about them being crazy.
Yeah. Oh no, it was when Sirius was telling. Wasn't? Yeah, I think it was the fifth
it was
movie.
Sirius.
It was the fifth movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were related.
Yeah, and there's just like
I don't remember the details for that, but yeah.
Yeah. So many of the callbacks are just like small details, and also Dumbledore's character in this.
Like they didn't want to get Michael Gambon because they wanted a younger Jude Law, right? Yeah, Jude Law.
Yeah. But with how they could have had him as a younger Dumbledore, like maybe a bit more naive and less wise, but still with that kind of like rebellious edge that's hinted to, and you see a bit more of that.
Yeah.
But they didn't want that. They wanted him to be this all-powerful character
already.
Still.
Like even back 80 years, well, like
even
70 years ago.
Like,
no, it's like, you need to help us, Dumbledore. You are the MacGuffin chosen one character. Literally, you're the only one that can do anything.
Exactly. From the original Harry Potters, there was always this sense of,
I mean, Dumbledore
he's
was
old and wise.
Yeah.
He's been through a lot. He's made mistakes. He's learned his lessons.
He's learned
and
from
now
the best.
he's become
the best.
The best.
It made sense for Harry Potter.
Whereas in this, you're seeing him at his younger stage, but he's already the best. So it's like, oh, he's just
always been the best.
He's just always been the best because that's what the fans want, right? They don't want to see engaging character-driven drama.
We could have had like some super like ancient wizard who was like, the headmaster, like because he wasn't the headmaster like in this movie.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that. No, so that's your gripe with Dumbledore. Do you know what my gripe with Dumbledore was?
Well,
okay, so in this movie, he dressed up as like a normal British person would at the time, with like the overcoat and like the tie and everything. And you think like, oh, okay, maybe because he's in the non-magic world, he has to dress like this. But then when we see him again in the school, he's still dressing like that. And then that made me realize, oh my goodness, whenever we see Dumbledore and Harry Potter, he's just wearing his pajamas. Because no one dresses in robes. No one dresses in robes except him.
Do you think in his 40s he just had like a revelation of, do you know what? I
don't care anymore.
I don't need to get dressed anymore.
Yes, that's why I think.
These are wizard robes. It's not a dressing gown. It's wizard robes.
No, because look, like Snape wore wizard robes, but his was with a modern edge to it. Made sense. McGonagall also still a bit modern. Only Dumbledore went full wizard.
Now that you say that, like all of their outfits in the original Harry Potter,
they were magical.
Were more like what you would imagine of like
wizardy,
typical wizardly stuff. Whereas this was like, the 20s, so we've got to make everything look 20s.
They could have tried,
but
they could have made it look even older wizardy stuff.
Yeah,
like with staffs and more hats. But no, it's just laziness. Just make them look like they're from the 20s.
It doesn't add up, because if they're dressing in medieval stuff still now, then why all of a sudden would they go ahead and then backwards? Was there just like a different fashion trend in the wizarding world?
Well, yeah, it's a different world. Like it was chic.
Yeah,
to wear robes like in 1990s.
In the 90s cover of Magic Vogue, there was a dressing gown being worn, and then everyone picked it up as the style.
It was like absolutely gorgeous. Whoa! Come on, that's the thing.
Everyone needs to be wearing this stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, it's these kind of details. It's like, am I nitpicking, or is the fact that the world building has become lazy in some aspects?
That's the thing. Because this is very much driven by
fan service and world building.
Fan service and world building stuff. What would in another film be nitpicking is all there is to pick at in this film.
World.
So like the nitpicking is actually just like large issues with the film.
The two of us are not big Potter like lore fans. No. Like we enjoy it, but that's not like our main focus in terms of fandom. But yet you have these. There are other details we're going to talk about. But yeah, Dumbledore's wearing pajamas. Confirmed. I love it.
So Dumbledore set the trend. I don't even know where else to go.
Anything else you want to bring up without spoiling stuff? I mean, there's a lot to talk about with spoilers. We're just trying to get this out of the way first.
There's also, as I said with the complexity, I felt like nothing much happened in any of the many plots that were going on.
Well, that's because this is the second movie. They have to only resolve them in the third movie.
It felt like Hunger Games movie 3
Part 1. Yeah. Well, Harry Potter started the whole Part 1, Part 2 nonsense, and they should be lynched. No, not... Okay, they shouldn't be discouraged from doing Part 1, Part 2s.
Yeah, because even in the original Harry Potter, I did find Part 1 of the Deathly Hallows a bit...
It was a terrible ending. Let's be real. Part 1 was one of the worst.
I find it different because, like, Part 1 of the original Harry Potter, I found it drawn thin for content. With this one, I found that they were trying to set up so much stuff that they just had like the stumps of a bunch of plot lines lying about.
No, honestly, the whole Grindelwald warring thing and having Fantastic Beasts on the side, they feel like two complete ideas that she just decided to put together. Yeah. Like the idea of the Fantastic Beasts and exploring them each could be like a Pokemon TV series kind of thing.
Like even from the beginning, Newt doesn't fit into this plot.
Like he doesn't want to do the plots.
I think one of the first scenes is him at the Ministry where they're like, "Oh, we need you, Newt."
Is this a spoiler?
This is like the first scene. This is not a spoiler.
Okay, whatever.
We need you to talk to Credence to calm him down with all of your specialities as a beast trainer. Credence is a bastard. Why?
It's like getting Crocodile Dundee to help out with like ISIS.
Yeah.
Only you can help us out with your expertise in the Australian outback.
In the crocodiles.
And he's just saying that like, okay, just get me the first plane over. No, he doesn't sound like that.
It's so ridiculous and just shoehorned in. Unnecessary.
Do you know how I saw that part? I just saw that part as, Newt, you are the protagonist. You must do the plot. He's like, no, I don't want to do the plot. No, I want to do the animals. No.
Exactly. And
I want this.
And that made sense. And then they just gave him the reason of, oh, found out that your love interest from the first movie's over there.
And then he just kind of like, shoot. And then he has to then be part of the movie. The first movie, he got caught up in the whole politics and obscurus.
He got caught up in it just due to happenstance of where he was.
And that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
This one, they try
It's
to make him a
so
chosen
forced.
one where he's just not.
Like he just awkwardly says, "I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do this."
Just he's
It's
a
quite
zoologist. What does that have to do
Like, with
with espionage?
Uh,
Like,
Like,
it's
fi-
not even espionage to do with zoology.
Your eyes are like a salamander.
Oh yeah. You. Well, it's kind of.
What?
You haven't seen Atypical, have you?
I haven't seen. Oh, I mean, he's definitely portrayed as someone on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine
Is
with that. It's just they're forcing him into the plot.
Yeah. Like, I also did find it felt a bit like it was ripping off Atypical, and I liked Atypical.
Hey,
I was like, hey,
but
you're still in the show, like.
Newt's 2016. Come on, he's been around.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, the first movie was 2016.
the first movie was 2016.
You mean how they?
But now
developed
there's
his
kind of like-
character?
I don't know. I didn't get as much of a sense of that in the first one. Like, he avoids eye contact.
I mean,
but-
it was that, and also how he gets along. He doesn't get along with other people, but that's what and he prefers to spend
Yeah.
time with animals.
Yeah.
Which, for some people on the spectrum, like that's what happens.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it makes more sense in Atypical because it has time to be developed. If you haven't seen Atypical, it's about...
we'll review it one day.
Yeah, it's a good show. I like
Okay.
it.
But because like for Harry Potter becoming the main character, like in my
Well,
opinion,
he was always the chosen one.
yeah. But and I've got gripes with that. But you know what? Whatever. But for this one, it feels like, come on, we need a new star. Newt, it's gonna be you. He's like, no.
I'm not qualified. Why are you
I'm
why are
not
you sending me on
qualified,
this
and I
dangerous
don't-
mission?
I have emotionally no time. Oh, okay, now you do.
But then he goes for love.
Yeah, there's a lot of love.
What's-
Love is the theme of this movie. It's
Well,
literally
no,
the premise.
it's not, but it is.
Is
It's,
it?
there's no theme about love in it. There's just love plots thrown in, like, sporadically.
Okay, actually, yeah, I take it back. Because the whole obscural thing is, it's because you're unloved. That's why you're so strong.
Yeah, it's
And you're
kind,
going to explode otherwise.
it's kind of like they had an idea of something about love, but then they just didn't.
What? I
bother.
mean, they tried to metaphor it. Like, so
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling did that really well with the Dementors being a metaphor for depression, like the way it's described about how they eat away at you
Yeah.
and all the joy being... You see, that was good writing back in the day.
Mm.
This, however, I mean, part of me starting to feel maybe Fantastic Beasts would have been a much better book franchise.
I think
Well, without the stupid, like, subplots.
it would have been better if it was just David Attenborough Magic Edition.
Oh! Oh! And here now we see the salamander in his natural habitat.
Exactly. It would work so much better.
Oh, no. Can I just, like, send angry tweets to J.K. Rowling, like, how dare you make the movie and not have David Attenborough in it? David Attenborough should have been the Dumbledore. He could have been the proto Dumbledore, like
Oh my
the
God.
stronger one. Oh, I'm losing it.
But something
Fantastic Beasts response.
I did find annoying that was in the originals. Like, I love comparing to the
Re-
originals.
You mean
The-
the Potter franchise?
Yeah, in the original Potter franchise, you don't have any of this nonsense of, oh, of course they're interested in him. He's the main character. Like, of course there's a love triangle around him. He's the main character. Instead, it was
Yeah, actually, the whole love thing for Harry only got brought in later on.
yeah.
Which actually,
For him, it was the closest
Because they've been-
female character who in a movie like this would have been the love interest was Hermione, who ended up with Ron
yeah,
because
and
you know
like,
things happen.
And early on, people kept shipping the Harry and Hermione together, but it didn't work out.
Yeah,
But Harry got to bed with Ginny. I didn't like that. But the thing is, because because of what they went through together, it made sense.
whereas in this it's just
They had a fun caper at one point in their life,
yeah, and then now that
she read his book.
and now they're bound to each other forever, and
Yep.
of course they're gonna have falling outs, and will they or
spats,
won't
what have
they?
you. Like you mean like him? I keep forgetting her name. Something Goldstein. Tina.
Tina.
Newt and Tina. It's all just a parallel to Grindelwald and Dumbledore. It's all
Yeah.
just a parallel.
Like, I didn't get that. Like, in this whole thing, it's just, I don't know if this is spoiler section. We'll talk about it in a few
Okay,
minutes.
The
We
thing
can
is,
grade it first.
well, okay, I think we're going to start moving to the spoiler section.
Yeah.
Should we jump into that, or should we take a break, like a quick break right now?
Shall we give like grades first?
Okay, yeah, okay, grades first. Don't watch this movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, don't watch this movie. Okay, no, okay, that's not fair. 6. No, okay. Oh,
Well,
okay.
A B C D.
Sorry, I keep forgetting all
Yeah.
rating systems. I'm so angry about this movie. It's a C minus.
Oh, I'm giving it an E.
Oh, oh no, okay. No, look, I think it's still okay. It's a movie I would see in cinemas because of the fancy CGI and sound,
Okay.
but I would never watch it on my laptop or at home
It
on
does
the
have
TV.
good CGI and sound. It does have good acting, but one of the things I will compare it
The
to
writing's just
things
terrible.
I've written already to give some sort of consistency.
Okay.
And last week I gave like 2 shows D's, which I thought were both better than this. So
That's right. Norseman with its controversial nonsense and pillaging and Vikingness. It's still a better.
At least it wasn't just a bunch of stumps of plots.
Okay. We'll have the break now. So.
Okay,
It's Dustland Fairy Tale by the Killers. Thank you.
sorry about that.
Okay, and we're back.
And
Okay,
we're back.
so
So-
we're gonna spoil everything here.
Yeah.
Don't watch anymore.
Welcome back to Couch Connoisseurs.
The show where the average viewer isn't average. The show where we review Netflix shows every week.
Only this week we're reviewing
Right, Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
And what
number
and what on earth
2.
is going on?
And this is the spoiler section, in case
Electric
you've just tuned in.
Fantastic Beasts, Electric Boogaloo.
So, something I believe you don't know yet.
Okay, so yeah.
So we were talking earlier about some of the name drops. One of that name drops that I don't think you realized was a name drop was Nagini.
Yeah. The snake.
Not Dumbledore's, Voldemort's snake.
Yeah.
You knew that.
Yeah, I knew that.
I didn't think you knew that.
What? That's what people are talking about. Like, that's the controversy. Like, why did they suddenly make the pet snake
Yeah.
a human?
Well, it's not. It could have been a human, fine. That I didn't care about. I thought it just could have been a separate character. I thought it was so unnecessary.
It's just a name drop. No, do you know what I was really annoyed about? Because, when we first see Nagini, she's in a freak show because, like, you freak, you
Yeah.
got the blood curse, you turn to a snake. It's like, no, in this universe, people and they could turn to
Oh, yeah.
animals. That's a normal thing. But the main difference is that for her, it'll be permanent eventually. That's
Yeah.
like laughing at someone with, like, sickle cell anemia. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this pale person. Because yes, someone who eventually would turn to a snake, that's something that I would put in a freak show
Yeah.
if I was not a
But-
magician.
Now that you point out, they were like, show them what you can do. Turn into the beast. And it's
So
like,
have you never seen people turn to snakes before? It's
it's
a skill
This
in
is
this
Harry
universe.
Potter. This is normal.
Have you never seen anyone do their tax returns? Behold, Mathemagus, the man who can do quadratic terms in his head. Do it. Come on.
Oh, so many unnecessary scenes.
Shall we now? Okay, so shall we start spoiling properly?
Yeah. So spoilers. One of them is Grindelwald, the main bad guy, he's kind of like not hinted, like confirmed, but not explicitly.
They didn't say it outright, but they basically. But if you can put 1 and 2 together,
Well, it's not even like it's even simpler than that. Is
if you watch the movie,
it's confirmed. So it's always been like canonical that Dumbledore's gay.
No, I don't buy that as canon before because she only said it on Twitter. It wasn't in the books.
Oh yeah, but I think part of the point was it wouldn't change anything anyway.
But
So-
but that's also why it made me angry she bothered to make that a thing. But I mean, okay, now it's part of the plot,
But-
so I'm
I don't
okay
know.
with it.
I think even like before it was fine because that's kind of the point, that it doesn't change anything and just adds more representation.
For me, it just felt like it was for the retweets. Because the thing is, it didn't add to his character or take away anything. Like they could have just said,
Yeah, but
Harry also is bisexual.
Yeah.
Does it add anything?
No, but the
Get-
point.
It gets you the
Yeah.
retweets.
So now it's finally like built into the plot of
Yes.
oh, He
and Grindelwald.
he and
Dumbledore and
Grindelwald used
Grindelwald.
to be an item.
They used to have to be an item. We saw a cutscene in the mirror
Yeah,
where
but,
they took a blood
but
pact
he
in a
and
very
also-
sensual manner.
he looks into the mirror that shows you your desires, and it's Grindelwald. I'm just like,
Oh.
even after he's been a criminal, like, there's nothing.
I mean, it's Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, like,
Oh yeah, it's Johnny
just,
Depp.
just fall in love with those eyes.
Yeah, those different colored David Bowie-esque guys.
Yeah,
That was Johnny Depp's idea, just on Wikipedia.
there's no build up to it. It's just thrown in as, oh, here's a plot point that's going to cause drama later.
They
Like,
they loved
okay.
each other at one point.
But it didn't show us who Grindelwald was. All we know is who Grindelwald is. We've got no way of seeing why Dumbledore and him would have been an item in the past. We've had no indication of chemistry between them.
You
We just have, oh, they were in love and they made a blood pact never to fight each other because they thought that they'd fight each other.
You wanna know why?
But still-
Because they had like the 7-minute monologue. We'll get to that later on. But the thing is, there's just so much nonsense in this movie. There was no
Yeah.
time to put in. Yeah, maybe more interesting things
So-
like how did they work out together?
Hmm.
Like what was their dynamic?
Like, they could have just reorientated the movie. Cut out Newt because, well, I like him as a character.
He does not fit in this movie.
He doesn't serve a
Let-
purpose in this specific movie.
Let him have his
Not
own
just
TV
Jacob, actually.
Oh no, Jacob. He should not even be in this movie.
Yeah.
He was wrapped up perfectly in the first movie.
Yeah.
He made sense because he is the blind eyes we as the viewer see the magic world through.
Yeah.
Which in the Harry Potter universe was Harry when he first started. In this universe, it's Jacob. Makes sense. They just
But
like
now-
he's back. Hey,
Hey, the guy with the quips.
Hey.
The muggle guy.
Wazowski, Jacob Wazowski. I forget the bakery. It didn't work out.
The thing
I didn't
is-
say.
His purpose kind of makes sense if one of the plot lines wasn't butchered. That plot line being
If it wasn't terrible.
Grindelwald is effectively Wizard Hitler,
What?
and
He was Voldemort before being Voldemort was cool.
yeah,
Except,
But-
like, for him, it's those muggles.
yeah. But the way that they frame it, and
Uh,
or at least kind of frame it in part.
Can we get to that later? Because I've got.
Okay.
We're
We're
working through the movie chronologically. So yeah, the first bit with Newt doesn't make sense. Jacob being in it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Uh,
And then you have marital disputes. Well, not marital,
well-
because pretty much him and what's her name, Queenie.
Queenie, yeah, Jacob and Queenie.
Yeah, they're now together. And when you first meet them, now Queenie's put him under a love spell so that they can get married because he won't marry her because in America it would be illegal,
Oh, because Muggle and Wizard marriages illegal.
and then it could ruin their lives.
Yeah, but she had to enchant him because. Yeah,
And then it kind of just starts. So this will come back later, but it starts setting her up as a bit of a loose cannon.
a bit unstable.
Yeah. Which I think really does harm to the plot later
Yeah.
with the purpose of her character.
So what one thing the hand wave as to why Jacob still remembers everything is because they're like, oh, Obliviate only removes bad memories. So
yeah.
that's
Despite that
fine.
not being how it works in any other scenario.
Yeah, because Hermione in the original franchise, when she erases her parents' memories, they're properly erased, and even the pictures got her erased.
The thing is though, it's been an registered amount of time between this movie and the last movie.
Yeah.
Why not just have Queenie catch Jacob up on everything?
Yeah. No, well, I thought that's
Like-
what they implied in the last movie where
Yeah.
she came to the bakery and they smiled at each other.
Yeah, it seemed that they'd start getting along, and then maybe she'd reintroduce him to the magical world. Instead, she's like, "Oh no, it wore off." And,
It turned out it didn't work out because this soft magic system is really annoying me because
yeah,
a wizard literally did it.
well, that's I think the thing. So going back to the past again, actually, I just realized Harry Potter has always had a plot focus and then magic stuff around it. Like you've got a mystery that's wrapped up with a magical bow on top. In this, the magic is more integral,
Yeah,
which means
Like
having a
soft
soft magic system.
for Harry Potter, soft magic was perfectly alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For this, it just opens up more and more holes because it's so reliant on the magic system.
Yeah, yep. Anything? Yeah, we just have to be careful for time because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Anything? So yeah, that was Jacob. That thing didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. I can't read my own handwriting.
What?
I took notes.
Okay, you want to freestyle this?
Yep.
So okay, I've got. Do you know what issue I have of this new Fantastic Beasts movie? It's called Fantastic Beasts, and we get maybe 2 new creatures.
Yeah, they just chuck it in because...
And only one creature gets a proper Magic Beast treatment.
Yeah. The only reason for that, though, is they need a reason for Newt to be useful in the plot, being the main character.
Being the crocodile.
And having
oh, it's a good thing
nothing to do with the
crocodiles. Oh, no, isn't that... You know, like, I can't remember, like, The Simpsons made fun of this, like, like a TV show where all the cases always happen, like they're all on the boat. Like, they're on, like, a speedboat. It's like, oh, no, the criminals are getting away. On the car, on land. Hey, look, there's a river next to land. Like, it's just put in just so the plot can move.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fun, but it lasts for 5 whole minutes at best.
I feel like I don't know how to describe most of the plot for this film because it's
so convoluted.
It should be separate movies. They should have cut out plot lines and rewritten it so that it worked.
Yeah, definitely.
They didn't do that because pretty much you have a structure that introduces initial points of a character and then it jumps to, okay, so here are the conclusions because they don't have time for anything else.
It's quite a long movie also, but there's too much going on.
Yeah.
Like, watching the movie, like, I was thought there was some confusion, but so I tried to stay focused and keep up to date with everything. And then it happened. The monologue. The monologue. Okay, like, so, just to introduce that character. What was his name? Theosis.
Oh, Credence.
No, the guy with the hat, Theosis. No, because for that character, what I first hate is, they introduce him and all, and then he tricks them and puts them in prison, and then he just has, like, an aneurysm, and just, it's a good thing he just had, like, a parasite.
Yeah. And I thought it was going to be something clever, because there's a reference to him having there's eye drops and an unbreakable vow. So I'm just has he somehow broken the unbreakable vow? It's like, no, he just
had an aneurysm.
Just random occurrence. So much of this movie is your princess is in another tower. They go to a place, but oh no, you're not actually looking for this person. It's this person. Oh, I'm not your mother, Credence. I'm the nanny.
Yeah. No, but going back to that character, he shows up. You think he's important. Oh yeah, he's dead. Oh wait, no, he's not dead. He's got a worm in his eye. Okay, he's gonna take a while to recover. Oh no, he's disappeared. And lo and behold, I'm back. Remember me, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. I'm here to tell the plots.
I'm here to now explain everything that is going on in this movie and what this whole movie is about.
Because you see, Lita Lestrange, what happened was, I had a nice family, and then your father seduced my mother with a curse, and then she died in childbirth and had you, and then I swore vengeance on the evil man.
A whole monologue, which is ridiculous, where
it turns out to not even be true anyway.
Yeah, because he's going after Credence, and then...
the idea was that Credence was the guy, like, because he wants revenge on this guy, it was his son.
Yeah, so the thought was... So initially Credence thinks his mother's in Paris, goes to Paris, France even, finds a woman who turns out to be the nanny.
And then she gets assassinated.
Before she can explain anything. And then, I've forgotten how he finds out the rest.
No, it gets a monologue.
Wait, is that the next thing that happens?
No.
How did he end up in the...
He's told by Grindelwald, because Grindelwald, his machinations will lead him to me.
Oh.
I am the great Grindelwald, and my machinations, and it's all part of my master plan. You must make sure it all goes accordingly.
It's funny. So we were talking about this before, and there's this YouTuber called Terrible Writing Advice.
It's on YouTube, you can check it out.
Yeah, pretty much all he does
satire.
Is he'll just say, oh, this is how you should write, but he just says the opposite of what you should do.
Yeah.
And some of the things that come up a lot in that is throwing in random love triangles that don't do anything, which this movie does a lot.
Chosen one plots.
My machination, like, this
evil
overseer.
schemes and magic systems.
Yeah,
It's this movie combined.
yeah. If you
It's
just
like they watched his series
it's like
seriously.
I just didn't understand.
They're like, oh, okay, I should take notes of this. But no, it's no.
Because, yeah, you have this whole thing with Grindelwald just being like, oh, he's on his way to me now through my convoluted plan. And it's like,
No, so that guy gives his monologue
So
like
stupid.
for the whole like plot, and then Lita goes, no, actually you're wrong, and then she
Yeah.
explains her side of the story where it's, no, I was with the baby on the ship actually, and it turned out
Yeah.
he was
No.
an annoying baby, as anyone flying economy would realize.
oh no, it's better than that. The line exactly is, he's not Credence because I killed him. So what?
And everyone looks at him like, he looks at her like, I'm sorry. And then she
It's
says,
such-
during the ship, I swapped the babies with another not crying baby, and then the ship sank, and that baby died.
yeah.
The
And it's like,
real baby died.
so he's actually someone else's baby, and then it's like, oh, I guess I don't have to kill him then because he's not the.
Oh, well, I guess that wraps up that plot point.
Yeah.
And Credence is like, yeah, but how about my plot point? It's like, shh, Credence, you get your turn.
Credence,
Credence, it's
you,
okay.
you
it's
need
okay,
to
you get your
you
turn.
need to be pushed towards Grindelwald. No one can figure this out for you. We
Look, even the
we
characters
need you
don't
to turn evil for the next few movies.
you need a reason to turn evil.
It's all just plots based off of misunderstandings, which is awful.
no.
It's not how you write a plot.
That's what Mamma Mia had.
Yes, exactly. This movie's Mamma Mia. It's magic Mamma Mia.
Here I go again.
It's Mamma
it
Mia,
should've just
but
been-
worse.
It should have been called Fantastic Beasts, and here we go again.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah.
Fantastic Beasts, The Lost Child, and here we go again.
Oh.
Electric Boogaloo, Part 2, Crimes of Grindelwald. Well, not really the Crimes of Grindelwald, but maybe like he killed some people and he broke out of prison. Crimes.
So,
So,
Grindelwald,
I mean, Grindelwald he's got like a Hitler thing going on.
yeah. He's very much building up a fear of muggles.
Which,
That's pretty much his plot, and as deep as it goes. But okay.
So there's a rally.
Yeah.
And the Ministry of Magic, the people are told to arrest them all. But the Ministry people are like, let's not arrest them, because going to the rally is not illegal. But if anything goes wrong, we will do some
Yeah.
arresting.
And
Perfectly makes sense.
And then pretty much Grindelwald just like builds up the tensions until someone pulls out a wand on one of like the magic police auras.
The auras. And then the aura like kills that person.
Yeah, to then make the auras look like the bad guys.
I've got a question. That aura used the killing curse, but I thought the killing curse is super bad.
Yeah, I thought it was illegal. I
So,
thought
you want to know what happens? It's like gun control, but for spells. That happens like in the 60s in the magic world.
yeah.
No, we don't do any more abracadabra, avada kedavra, killing curse. That bad. You're an evil wizard if you do that. But I mean, back then it was perfectly fine.
So my issues with the parallels between him and her aren't that they're there, it's that it could have been done so much better. So for me,
Well, I mean, for one thing, the one difference is he's like, I don't want to kill muggles. I just think they're dumb. Come on. And they're all like,
Well,
oh, yeah. No,
I
but
don't know, that's very much in line with how you start fear of something. You say, oh, I'm not doing this, it's just this thing. And then you try and
slowly
make it
build up.
sound more reasonable.
Okay. But,
So,
I mean, the vision he gave, I loved it until
Yeah.
he said the last line.
wait, what was that?
Okay, so the vision he built, he basically foreshadowed, because they just went out of the First World War in
Yeah, this is in the 20s.
27 or something.
Yeah.
And then basically Grindelwald gave like a vision of the Second World War, and then like he showed like what is presumed to be the atomic bomb and all the fighting and all the death. So I thought like, oh, so is he trying to say we must make the Muggles not destroy the world kind of thing? I thought that would be interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they could turn their weapons on us. It's like,
Yeah.
you have soft magic. You can destroy them easily.
So- and then
You could phase into walls and steal the atomic bomb.
because they need some sort of spectacle, once all of his followers leave, he
Oh.
then sets off something reminiscent of a nuclear bomb anyway.
Oh,
And it's like,
getting to
what?
that. So getting to that. So so after like one of his followers got killed, he
Yeah.
says, "Tell your friends what you've seen here. Go home
Yeah,
and tell
then,
them
like,
everything."
all of his followers
and then he
leave.
says, I don't like Paris. I think I'm just gonna destroy it anyway.
Yeah,
It's like, you
This is-
monster.
this is
You.
what I hate. So
It's a
What-
good thing the good guys were there. If not, he would have a PR situation going on. This just saying, Grindelwald,
Exactly.
hypocrite. No more followers because they're all dead. Why?
This was my issue between the parallels between him and her. So for me, the scariest thing about the Nazis is it's on such a scale you can't just wrap it up to, oh, everyone just happened to be evil. It's these are normal people who have then
who are convinced of a cause they believed in.
towards this cause.
Yeah.
And they kind of try to do that a bit.
They tried.
But then
they tried so hard.
They try to have him as kind of like a Hitler figure that's scary because of how he just convinces people. But then he's also just...
They did it in the first part of the movie.
Yeah, but then he's also just typically evil.
He's also just a jerk.
And it kind of clashes a bit having him like that, but then also having as a we will rule the world kind of villain.
Yeah. But I'm gonna destroy Paris where all my followers live because I don't know. I don't know. The movie has to end in a cool manner.
Yeah, exactly. And then this also brings me back to the thing with Queenie. So because Queenie and Jacob can't be married or anything, he convinces her that he kind of like represents freedom and to join him, which would be great if she hadn't have been set up as a loose cannon and a little bit off the walls to begin with.
Like, even from the beginning, you can tell.
If they hadn't have done that and had the relationship going okay, but maybe just had them annoyed at the system they were in.
Oh, and then it slowly builds up.
Yeah, then having him subtly convince her that if she were to join him, I don't know why.
I mean, the thing
he even cares.
I mean, she had such little screen time, yet was built up to be a big part of the plot.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's almost like an opposite MacGuffin. So MacGuffin is something where the characters care about it, but the audience doesn't care about, and you can use it as like a plotting device.
Yeah.
With this, it's kind of like, oh, he cares because we care, but his character in the film actually has no reason to care about this one person.
Well, I mean, she can read minds. I mean, she would.
But he doesn't know. He's never met before. He's never met before.
A little random person I met in the street. Well, that my follower met in the streets.
Is literally just, she goes from one of his followers meets her on the street.
Crying,
and then takes her back.
Invited for a cup of tea.
And then she gets just immediately invited back to meet the head
to meet
Grindelwald of who's the head of all of this. And it's like
the super illegal organization. Why didn't she just go, hello, police?
Yeah.
Magic police?
What's not even that is because it seems when he has this conference later with all of his followers, there's quite a large organization.
Yes, yeah.
So surely it would make more sense for him to not bother with little things of converting
so you mean if instead
one of people who he doesn't know.
Like the lady that invited her to the house, what if she did the talking?
Yeah, she could have.
Okay, actually, that would have been much better.
It would have made more sense if he had a bunch of people who were going out and just subtly convincing people to join him, rather than just going, oh yeah, he's just one by one going around and handpicked a bunch of people.
Okay, I don't get. So the first part of the movie, there's an Asian follower who was kind of he says something, he talks back to Grindelwald, and Grindelwald's like, I wonder if you will be around at the end of when we take over the world. And then eventually he's like, my followers, come into this ring of fire because it won't burn you. And then that guy runs in and gets burned. Grindelwald's like, haha. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie where he goes, hey, remember when I said I would kill you last? You promised. I lied. I thought he would have bamboozled him in a much smarter manner.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You have to be the last one out to take the blame for all this and then teleports away or something.
The whole film is just set up with these small features that are setups for then callbacks later. Because I didn't even realize. I thought it was one of the auras running into the fire. I thought that's what that was demonstrating.
No, that was his follower. Because he was foreshadowing that you might not even survive till the end.
I didn't even pick up on that. I forgot what the guy's face looked like because he was in 2 seconds.
I only remembered him because he was Asian. I'm looking out for the representation, okay? No, this is the second movie of a 5-movie franchise which was announced in 2017. This suffers so badly from middle movie syndrome. I thought, at least the next movie will pick things up. No!
But no, there's 3 other next movies. And I also felt So say a bit with love triangles. There's like,
It's Queenie and Jacob.
and there's
No, that's not. Okay, it's a lover dispute. Sorry.
there's a whole bunch which is kind of stated. Oh, this person.
But there was Newt, Lita, and Tina.
Yeah,
That was a love triangle.
and there's a whole bunch of stuff where it's just stated. Oh, this person likes this person. Like, oh, it's stated Grindelwald and Dumbledore
Like, we're a thing.
ship it. But then there was, out of all of this, only one scene where I actually bothered to portray a reason why people would be into each other, and that was, is it Lolita?
Like Lita Lestrange.
Yeah, Lolita Lestrange and Newt.
Yeah. Oh, because they had some history back in Hogwarts.
Yeah, and then it has a flashback back to Hogwarts, and at that point I realized, wow, this would be better if it was just set in Hogwarts.
Wow. Oh, I should just watch Harry Potter than this nonsense.
Because like that was the only time, because they were both
Like the
kind of
magic
like,
was back and all.
well, it was
Like the characters actually start working and everything.
it was just in all of the other
Bits.
relationships, it's all just stated, oh, this person and this person are together. This is the only time where you see, well, in their case, it was two people who are both outcasts, and it just kind of like hinted that they're both into each other.
Yeah.
And then even that in the present day, by which I mean the 20s, so once
1927,
like
the movie
whole
time.
typo plot line of him with the love interest from the first film is she
Tina.
thought that, what was it?
Tina thought that Lita and Newt are getting married, but in actuality, Lita's getting married to Newt's brother, and
Yeah.
Newt's the best man at the wedding. Will be the best man at the wedding.
Yeah. But we're not ever shown anything of his brother trying to steal his girlfriend, any of that, which just would have like given.
But I mean, they should have had a moment where they had a nice conversation. The brother just like comes over, like puts his arm over her. I was like, "Hey, what's up, Newt?
Yeah,
Hey, what's up?"
just something simple.
Like subtle, like even just that one thing.
Yeah, just to
It's
like sell
the
us
brother,
that.
like, actually, if
oh.
anything, the brother's a nice guy.
Yeah, because he is a nice guy in it, and we're not.
I
Shown,
mean, he's trying his best with Newt, but you know,
Yeah.
things are difficult.
He's trying his best with Newt, but then Newt makes references to like, oh,
Like in the past,
my brother's always trying to like.
my brother's an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's so mean to me.
We're not.
Newt, I'm trying to help you. Just focus for one point.
Yeah, we're not shown any of that. He tries to help Newt.
They could have had his brother bully Newt in the Hogwarts scene.
Yeah, they could have just extended that scene like what 2 minutes.
They could have explained it for 2 hours.
Show the brother stealing Newt's girlfriend.
Oh, that would have been juicy.
But instead it's just like, oh no,
Things
they're
just
kind of like
happens.
hinted as being a thing, but then in the future she's engaged to his brother because I guess stuff happened.
I mean, they should have extended the Hogwarts scene for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And
Like-
then, we'll just have a better movie.
That's my issue with all of this. With all of this, I'm just kind of like, it just jumped from point A to point B. Why didn't you just show us this happen rather than... It's like, show, don't tell. Like, obviously sometimes you will cut down, use some exposition, but this film has characters dedicated to exposition.
Hello, I shall explain the plot. Actually, it's wrong. Oh, no. Why am I still in this movie?
No, never mind.
Yeah, no purpose in that movie after the monologue.
And why was the alchemist there?
Nicholas Flamel, he's a name drop.
Oh, is he a name drop?
He's a name drop.
Oh my god.
He's from the first movie. Then they showed the Philosopher's Stone inside his safe and all that.
Is that what that...
Yes, he's just a name drop. Hi, my name's Nicholas Flamel. Looks at camera, winks. Like, that's all it was.
Oh
And it's
my
like, haha,
God.
he's very old. That's why shaking his hand is painful to him.
I didn't even realize just how bad it was. And like, so much of this film is happenstance because... So, I think we mentioned Grindelwald and Dumbledore have a blood pact.
Yeah. And then
And
it
that's the
turns
last
out
thing.
they can't fight each other. And Grindelwald's like, oh, I'll get someone else to do it.
Yeah. And it kind of like shows us this like bit of jewelry thing that Grindelwald has.
Oh, yeah, they keep showing it.
Yeah,
And
it's
at
kind
first,
of like,
at first you
oh.
don't know what it is.
yeah, but then after the blood pact scene, you're like,
Oh,
that's what it is. So it's relevant to something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can break it or like how it functions or
I-
anything, but
yeah,
it's
what
relevant
does
to
it do?
something. And then by the end of the movie, because something interesting has to happen, they do get it through happenstance. The creature
It's a
from
good-
the first film.
It's a good
that-
thing my kleptomaniac echidna stole it.
yeah, exactly.
And Grindelwald, who probably values that a lot, didn't notice.
Yeah, they did.
Because he was more concerned about burning Paris.
The thing is, Newt wouldn't have known why that was valuable He just kind of like goes up to Dumbledore at the end, just like, "Hey,
it's a blood pact.
I've got this thing," and then he's like, "Oh, well, coincidence. That's actually great.
That's the MacGuffin.
Thanks.
That's the exact MacGuffin I needed.
I knew you could do it without any instruction through entirely happenstance."
I mean, it's a good thing it was shiny, if not like this whole plot
Yeah.
with like, well, it's like, look, Dumbledore, I got his
Like-
button.
Like literally,
I got his coat
if
button.
Grindelwald just kept it safe in like a little leather pouch or something,
Oh, it's a good thing I put it in the non-shiny like container.
in something where people wouldn't notice or try and steal it, you know.
A carrying pouch of sorts. I think we're running out of time, but I mean, do you think we can stretch on, like, just a little, like maybe just a wrap up?
Yeah, so don't watch it. Don't encourage
Don't worry, we'll watch.
this type of movie making behavior.
Yeah, okay, like, so far from what I've heard, this movie is not done financially well, and it sounds kind of cruel, but maybe it's for the best. It doesn't financially do well because
The
the
issue with that
visuals
is
are
just-
beautiful, but the writing's just terrible. In all honesty,
Yeah, like there is purpose in the movie
You can
industry is an industry and it gives people jobs, and it's great to do things that
no, but like if
make money, but it's also meant to be about art in a sense. Like it's meant to be entertainment, but it's
Yeah.
just throwing out buzzwords at people and hoping that they go watch it.
Nicholas Flamel, remember him? Okay, wait. Should we just quickly wrap up? Talk about the last name drop at the last part of the movie with Credence.
Oh yeah. So spoiler alert.
Hey, you
Credence is related to Dumbledore.
Hey, you want to know why you should care about this character? Because he's a Dumbledore. Hey!
That turns out who he's related to. Just because Grindelwald tells him at the end, and there was no hinting towards this. Like he was set up as this thing of like
he feeds
oh,
the birds.
he's the only one powerful enough to defeat Dumbledore.
And also doesn't have a
And I
blood
was
pact
like,
with him.
Oh right, that makes sense. Like Dumbledore's pretty strong. You need someone strong to be him. It's like, oh, wonder what bloodline is strong enough. The Dumbledore bloodline.
Hey. It's like, if you want this item, you must defeat the strongest warrior in the land, yourself.
This is
Oh yes, of course.
this is also kind of like the issue of it being simultaneously about chosen ones, etc., etc., and anyone can be evil because
Destiny.
it's like destiny and non-destiny. And yeah, while it may figure that out later, and he may turn good again, which I assume is the route it's gonna take.
I think he did. you see?
Yeah.
Do you see him later on? Is he ever mentioned after in the
I don't
Harry
know.
Potter? No, he did. He did, son. No, but like you can tell the movie industry is trying to move away from good versus evil into a gray area. Like that's what taste has evolved into.
Yeah,
But it feels like the old movies, which were good versus evil, are trying to do that, but they've not fully gone over. Like
Yeah,
like Star
they're still
Wars.
kind
Star Wars
of
is
trying
no
to
idea
keep some buzzwords from
from the light
the-
versus
yeah.
dark.
So then it kind of like becomes half and half and becomes a clash of themes,
Yeah.
as opposed to just accepting, okay, this is what we're doing now.
I mean, okay, it's not really, but you know, like Rogue One, I thought was a better Star Wars movie because it went full grey and had the name drops were in
I
there.
haven't seen it, but I think it's
Okay,
now on
okay.
Netflix. So
Maybe we'll watch that.
maybe we
Yeah.
will.
Okay, yeah, we're severely
we're
over
up now.
time. So thanks for watching Couch Connoisseurs.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, thanks for watching with your
Nice one,
Thank-
Andrew.
Thanks for watching for our time slots. Okay, to take us out, we'll be playing Atomic Karate by TWRP. Okay, thank you.